But the truth is, I never want to be involved in that kind of drama content anyway, right? Ever. That's why I said I'm not involved with this show. You know, Keemstar couldn't even legitimately contact me and offer me a real spot on the show. He demanded on Twitter that I accept a $50K offer to be on the show before he even spoke with me. Like, he's making demands. Over the last 2 years, he's tried to harass me by saying he was going to contact my friends and family and do a negative Netflix documentary about me. This guy's nuts, okay? He's a fucking asshole. He's a piece of garbage. I want nothing to do with this man, all right? I've made this abundantly clear over the last 2 years. I want nothing to do with Keemstar whatsoever, all right? At all. Urban style individual.
What's up with y'all? Hopefully this video finds you in good spirits, and if not, well, at least you not DSP. And we are in the conclusion of our 2-part series to catch a LOLCOW. And in this video right here, I want y'all to pay attention to how Phil flip-flops all over the place with the idea of eventually going on LOLCOW Live, because I believe deep down that's what he really wants to do. But he dug in so far the other way, he doesn't really quite know how to navigate this. So let's get into the video.
You all know, last year, all right, I did have an interview with Keemstar that went well. And since then, we've basically laid off each other, right? Like, I don't talk about him. He doesn't talk about me. We stay away from each other, which is fine. You know, we left the door open that maybe in the future there would be something that we would work together for something, but we don't know what, right? A lot of people had said, well, why didn't you ever go on his show, LOLCOW Live? And I said, because I was never invited. Like, literally, I was never asked to ever be on the show. You know, I was assuming that they probably felt that me being on there wasn't very interesting.
Now, we all know what he just said is completely untrue. We know Keemstar went about the business of offering Phil 50 grand, if I'm not mistaken, to actually be on LOLCOW Live. And Phil believed, I guess he's saying he was not formally invited because Keemstar did not email him. But we know the criteria for doing business with you, Phil, has changed, right? Because you had no problems DMing the Kino Casino. So that's a moot point.
That if they wanted to do something, it would be something bigger than that. I don't know. But as you know, I told you guys, I'm never going to work for Keemstar or anything like that. I've outright said it over the years. I'm not interested in working for the guy or anything like that, you know. But I, you know, always.
No, I believe that you said you would never want to do anything with Keemstar ever, right? Because he had blood money, and because he was a bully, and because he was a misery broker. Those were your words, Phil. We remember. And for those who don't remember, you can look it up. You know, it's out there. And the interesting part about this is Phil does not understand the basics of the human dynamic. And what I mean by that is what fundamentally makes us human, right? Outside of the trinkets and the things that we gather on our journeys through the world. And part of that is our integrity, right? Because you may not have worldly things, but you can still have your integrity. Nobody can take that from you. You can only give that away. And I got news for you, Phil. You've already given it away, because as a man or as an adult in general, when you don't have all these things, all you have is your balls and your word, right? And as a man, you would like to think that you would like other people to believe that your word means something, but not Phil.
Just left the door open if anything would happen, and just nothing ever happened. Okay. Now, out of nowhere, okay, literally out of nowhere, I get a DM from Boogie a couple days ago. All right. And he says, oh, Phil, this is your official invite to LOLCOW Live. Now we'd like you on the show. And that was like it. That's all I get in the DM. No information about anything. So I went back to him and I'm like,
well, you said that you wanted to be formally invited. And Phil, once again, this is how people generally interact. What Boogie did there was known as a filler, right? To see where you are, to check your temperature, if you will, right? To see what your response would be. Why would he write up a whole essay about what's going to happen if he doesn't even know if you're interested or not? That type of correspondence will come later. My goodness.
well, number one, when do you even stream? Because I have no idea when you're streaming. That's number one. Okay, number two, what would the subject matter be? Why do you want me on the show now? Like, what's going on? Okay. So he responds again and he says, well, here's when we stream. And that's it. Like, he doesn't say what the show, why they want me on the show, nothing about the subject matter. And I'm thinking to myself,
Phil wants them to tell him what he's already thinking, which is they don't have content and you need me. He always wants to feel wanted, no matter who it comes from, right? That's really what this is about. Because when you look at the DMs between him and Wings of Redemption or Boogie, I forget which one it was, right? He said he went on this thing about, oh, you don't have any content now. So that tells you that Phil wants you to stroke his ego first. So Keemstar, pay attention. He's giving you the formula.
why am I talking to Boogie? If I'm going to be on the show, I should be talking to King, not Boogie, right? Now, at the same time that happens, I kid you not, this just happened. Wings of Redemption sends me a DM. Now, I've told you guys that over the last several years, I've tried to talk to this guy, and very rarely does he ever respond to anything. There's been many opportunities where I said I wanted to interview him on the Level 1 podcast. I would maybe want to do some gameplay with him, all this stuff. He just ignores me.
Why would Wings of Redemption come on your stream to play a video game with you, Phil? Do you really think that would be entertaining? What is he talking about? And furthermore, what would you interview him about? What would you bring out that people already don't know? All of the information that you're getting about Wings of Redemption, you're getting from Breaking Banquet. We know that, Phil. We also know that you're watching LOLCOW live. So once again, what are we going to gather from your version of interviewing Wings of Redemption? It's unnecessary and nobody needs it.
Literally just ignores me. Okay? All of a sudden, out of the blue, he messages me and says, oh, so, what's going on? Like, basically, he's trying to start a conversation with me. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. And I did some research, and I come to find out Wings is back on LOLCOW Live.
So what does DSP mean when he said he did some research? We know that means you watch LOLCOW Live, bro. And maybe some Lummox, and like I said before, a little bit of Breaking Banquet. Now, he got his arm crossed, acting like he went to the library and hit up some database, because Phil's ventures are always unlike anyone else's, right? He's special. Just stop the bullshit, man. You watching YouTube just like everybody else, man.
Okay. Now, to my knowledge, he was off for months there. But apparently, he's just rejoined the show. Okay. And basically now, I think what's happened is they're trying to rejuvenate the show. This show.
It's always funny to me when Phil thinks he picked up on the clues and he knows what's going on. Phil, you're never part of the in-crowd that's planning something. You're the one that's being planned against.
Show has been through many different iterations now, different hosts. They've done a whole bunch of different events. And now I think what they're trying to do is breathe some new life into their show. Okay. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's, to my knowledge, it sounds like that's what's going on. Okay. And so they brought back Wings after him being gone for months. I think they've realized that didn't really work. People liked Wings and they want him back as the host. So he's back. And now I think they're trying to involve other people. So
are you saying, because he's saying he's acting as if him coming on the show is somehow going to boost what they do permanently? So Phil's speaking from the perspective of being an additional chair or having a prominent role on one of the shows that fall under LOLCOW Live. Y'all hear that, Dents? Now, I'm not saying he's going to do this, but it's very obvious that Phil is considering this, even though he's acting as if he isn't.
Now they're contacting me, and it's weird. I just want you to think about this. For years, I reached out to Wings and I said, do you want to do an interview? Do you want to do some gameplay? Do you just want to hang out? Let's just do some fun stuff. He ignores me. Now, all of a sudden, the moment he rejoins LOLCOW Live, and at exactly the same time that Boogie messages me to be on the show, now he's going to start talking to me? That's a little suspect, don't you think? I'm sorry, I wasn't born yesterday. I got to be a little skeptical of the genuine nature.
What do you mean genuine nature? Wings of Redemption, Boogie, or King never said they wanted to be your friend. So you coming on LOLCOW Live or them there being any type of crossover would be a business arrangement. It seems to me that to them, this make business sense for LOLCOW Live. And you're misinterpreting it as if he shunned you as a friend. It just didn't make sense for them to do it at the time, Phil. And now there was a time where they believed it made sense and they offered you 50K. But at the time, you didn't think it made sense for you to do it. So I'm not understanding why you're not understanding this.
So I basically responded to it and I was like, listen, just so you know, I get the feeling that this is all some kind of a plan from Keem. You're going to try to be nice to me now after years of me trying to talk to you and you blew me off. I don't buy it. And if Keem wants me on the show, then he should just reach out to me himself instead of sending his employees after me, because it's essentially what he's doing. He's sending Boogie after me. He's sending you now. Just have him talk to me. He has my contact info.
But why would he do that though? See, that's the thing. Keem's in a position where, yes, he has employees. So naturally, he's going to send one of his dents to do his bidding. It's not that difficult to figure out. Now, when we look at it from the perspective of Phil, even though Phil would like to try to position himself as Keemstar's equal, we know that he's not. You're far inferior. And I'm going to use the parameters that you use. So we're looking at it from a monetary perspective. Keemstar and Wings of Redemption and Boogie, they all make far more money than you do, Phil, right? So according to you, none of them are your peers or your contemporaries. They're all far above you. So all of this will be doing you a favor.
Okay, and that's where I've left it. So I don't know what else is going on. All right. But now, can I be honest with all of you? Because I want to end the show. We got to play Metal Gear. All right. Here's the deal. Okay. I don't know what me going on LOLCOW Live would do for anyone. Like for me, for my audience, and you guys know, we're here enjoying games. I'm very busy right now. This is an incredibly busy time of the year. I'm actually trying to juggle an incredible amount of games at one point, and we're very busy, right? Things are going well. Streams are going well. Everything's good. And I have stayed out of drama, right? I've purposefully said, I want to be out of drama and not involved in any of this crap. I've made it a staunch thing ever since back in, what was it, March?
Whatever, Phil. We don't believe you. This is another one of your pleas. Now you see from the jump how he said he didn't know how this would be interesting and he don't know what they would do. Phil, that's because you struggle with planning. You never understand when something is supposed to be mapped out, right? So naturally, it will make sense that you would have some type of handler, or Boogie or even Wings would have a handler, because you struggle with even picking the next damn game that you're going to play. So naturally, he's not going to trust you with the planning portions or whatever show or concept that you're going to be on for one of his programs that he's running. He's going to expect you to come in and be a good soldier. And if you want that back, that's what you're going to do. Because I don't think yesterday's price is today's price. Is Keemstar still going to be offering $50,000? I doubt it. But even if he isn't, this could be something that you could potentially segue into more attention and money for yourself that could potentially help supplement your income so you don't have to beg so goddamn much. But we know he's not thinking like that.
I said, that's it. Drama's done. We're good now, right? So I don't need to worry about that shit. I'm set where I am. I'm doing well, right? It's not like I need a boost. It's not like I need to do this now. It's not. Like, I'm actually good where I am. Okay? So if I have a conversation, and the conversation is that, they want me on the show and we're going to have a good time and just chill or whatever, that's one thing. But if it's going to be, we want to talk about all this drama shit and we want to do this and that, no.
Now, he just said if they're willing to have him on the show and they're going to sit there and have a conversation, that he will be fine with it, right? Now, he just said that. Now, prior to that, he said he was good where he is, which means, again, Dents, he's not going to look for additional revenue streams. He's completely complacent with begging you for money day in and day out, right? because every opportunity he gets to create an additional revenue stream, he finds a way to flounder it. And here he is coming back to y'all, begging once again. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all deserve a lot of the behavior that he exhibits towards y'all because y'all enable it. Here he is having another opportunity, and he's gonna find a way to mess it up.
I don't want to talk about drama. I don't want to incite trolls to do dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like at this point, if I go on that show and it ends up being drama, it's just going to be detrimental to all of us here and what I've built this year. Because this year I've turned it all around and things are going very well, right? I don't need to now start creating problems for myself in this community. So I'm not sold on it, but at the same time, I haven't had a single word about what this would be or anything. You know?
So once again, Phil is trying to dip his toe into things and play both sides while acting like he's not. On one instant, he wants to be the chill streamer that just plays video games and he doesn't care what anybody's doing. But when it's beneficial for him, all that shit is out the window. Look at his face. I don't care what he says. He is considering doing this.
So I guess we'll have to see. All right. But just so everyone knows, like, publicly, that's all that's happened. I haven't had a conversation with Keem or anything. I don't know what's going on. So if you guys are saying they were talking about me on their show today, I don't know. All right. So I guess this is what it'll have to be. But listen, as I say, I'm happy with being me, doing my content here. We're doing well with it. I'm not looking to work for Keem or work with Keem or anything. No, I'm not. I'm just not.
No, you just said that if they were willing to have you on to just talk about stuff, you will be fine with it. And 2 minutes later, not even, you talking about how you don't want to work for Keem or with Keem at all. Phil, what is wrong with you? My goodness. Now we hear of people contradicting themselves, but Phil has this uncanny ability to contradict himself in the following sentences, man. Like, it's almost instant sometimes when he does it. But this is how you know that he's conflicted. Because he would love to dip his toe into drama because drama was very lucrative for him. The problem with it is he doesn't really know how to do it. Phil really doesn't have a personality, right? He doesn't really know how to be confrontational in a way that's entertaining. He knows how to melt down because that's a genuine reaction. But him trying to play the bully, like, it's just not believable, Phil. We've seen you tap dance around real situations so many times that when you try to position yourself as the person who has the monopoly on force, it comes off as cringe. We don't believe you, right? And the other thing about this, Phil, you keep on wanting to be a part of the planning process of things. And I believe that people would be foolish to include you in the planning portions of a show. Okay. You are a prop. You are something to be used as part of the show where you are encapsulated in a cell and you know exactly what you need to do. And that is it. Anything that's going to require you to think is automatically going to fail. Flat out. So people can say what they want about Keemstar, but he has figured out a way to create this basically LOLCOW network, regardless of how you feel about it. People are eating off this. It just is what it is.
I'm happy and I'm doing good. So I don't need that, nor do I need any kind of new involvement and drama and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. Maybe absolutely nothing will come of it whatsoever. Maybe something will come of it, and we'll have a crossover show where where there's fun stuff. But we'll have to work on it and try to figure it out. Well, that's not anything that this is the initial talk. I haven't even had a word with anyone over there yet about it officially.
And now he's went back on his word again. And what do you mean by fun stuff? He really thinks that people perceive him as this chill gaming streamer that's just an everyman who's taking his lunch pail to the gaming room and he's just like you. Phil, nobody perceives you that way. Nobody, not even your dents. Your dents donate to you because they feel sorry for you, because you went about the business of cultivating a villain that they can point to that is the reason for all your ills, which is the quote unquote detractors. And it doesn't really have a face. which is more beneficial for you because it becomes a concept or an idea, almost like Batman. Anybody can be under the cowl, which means he could be anywhere at any time, right? And that's what you've done. The problem with that is you pigeonhole yourself into the situation because you care about what the detractors think about you far more than what you care about how your dents think about you. A lot of the move that you've made over the years has been because of what detractors have told you to do, right? Even when it comes to basic principle things like you defending your wife's honor, you didn't do it until the detractors said that you should have did it. It's just more of Phil being indecisive, pathetic, and childlike in his approach to his own damn future. It's just pathetic. But that's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Urban style content. I'm dead.